Hello, my name is Jeff, and I'm going to be talking to you about the summer anime of 2014 and what you should be watching. More specifically, new shows that are coming out, not sequels to shows, because there are plenty of good ones. But we're talking specifically about shows that are coming out brand new this season. Now I'm going to be listing these from least interested to most interested. Now this is my personal preference. You may have a different opinion, but I feel that these 7 are shows that you should be watching. First on our list is Tokyo ESP. Now, Tokyo ESP is based off of a very interesting manga, I have been told by my otaku brother Alex, but sadly the anime hasn't really lived up to that hype. The first episode starts 3/4 of the way through the first arc and does a terrible job of introducing you to characters and setting, and you're just like, what is happening? I'm so confused, oh my god. So if you're gonna watch it, start at episode 2. Because that's actually a very good episode. And episode 3 came along, is absolute trash, and I'm just wondering, what's going on, Tokyo ESP? Why are you stumbling all over yourselves when you have so much potential? A show about people with superpowers and, using them for good and using them for evil should be good. And you've got like these dark themes, and then death and burning and shooting, and then it's just trying to make me feel for characters that you haven't introduced yet. Like here's a character, feel for them, they're in peril, and I'm like, I don't care. Moving on. Number 6, we've got Akame ga Kill. Now, a lot of people are trashing the show, but I personally am finding it very enjoyable. It has really great action. The animation can be a bit spotty. Sometimes it goes freeze frame weird. Other times the animation quality just drops. Other times it's gorgeous. It just really varies, but overall it isn't impeding the show too much. It's got a cast of super interesting characters, a cool edgy world, as a lot of people are calling it, super edgy themes, although some people seem to think that the story itself is very one-dimensional, which in a way it is, but its simplicity is also what makes it so great, because then you don't have to worry about the super crazy story, but rather the world, and you get to look into that. But they haven't really done a good job of exploring the characters. They still feel one-dimensional. So I'm hoping that, they do a better job of that. Although episode 4 was pretty great. So hopefully episode 5 is just as good. Number 5, we've got Aldnoah Zero. Now I'm probably butchering that, but that doesn't really matter right now, because this show is awesome. It's seriously great, but not in the way I was expecting it to. A show like this is introducing you to these high school trio of characters, and you're like, oh, I'm gonna learn and care about these guys and their interactions with one another. This is gonna be meh. But it doesn't focus on that. If anything, it focuses more on the political struggle between Martian invaders, who are old human colonists with, super alien technology, versus humans, and then their struggle of competing against the super technology with, wit and intelligence of our main character. But, they don't try and make you care for him, they just spend the time making it super cool Lelouch anime fight style of, being subversive and beating the odds. But what I'm finding most interesting is just how intricate the Martian royalty system is, and how scattered it is, and, the conflict between the different Martian knights or lords, and then you've got this dude Slain who's thrown in there, for our benefit of oh, he's a weak guy, but he's gonna fight for the princess that he loves, and I'm like, oh, this guy's gonna be a wuss. But then at the end of episode, I want to say it's 3, he just totally is not a wuss, and I'm like, good for you, Slain, I now like you. You were the best character in this show. Moving on. Number 4, we've got Nobunaga Concerto. Not even sure if that's supposed to be concerto, but whatever. So, with Nobunaga, you've got a story that has been told a bajillion times before, but wait, no it hasn't. Because you've got a dude who falls through time, is a high school student, and suddenly he's in the past. Oh my gosh, where have I heard this before? Oh, tons of tireless comedies. But I'm not going to get into that because that's just really obnoxious. But what we do have is a story what most obnoxious comedies take and then making it really good with a unique art style that you may hate. I'm liking it for the most part, with a character who seems to be just silly and stupid. And you're like, oh, I'm gonna hate this guy. But then, you know, like, the harsh realities of the Warring Kingdoms period slaps him in the face, and he's like, oh, gotta get serious now, right near the end of episode 2. And I'm like, this show's going in a good direction. The reason it's ahead of Aldnoah Zero. Anyways, the reason it's ahead of that show is because I've seen most of Aldnoah Zero done before well. Like, example, Code Geass. But this I have not really seen done well, and so I have a lot of expectations for the show, and I'm really excited to see where it's gonna go. Number 3, we've got Terror in Renaissance. Now, I feel this show might be higher on the list as far as just pure story goes. It's just better written and the art is better, but my own personal enjoyment, I'm gonna throw it at a 3 because I love the art style, but it's just so jam-packed with intense story that it's like, I look at if an episode's released and I'm like, do I have the mental capacity to watch this right now? Because if I'm not feeling up to it, you know, to like look and dive into this episode and analyze it and just, I guess, experience this intense world, then I'm just not gonna watch it right now. I'm gonna watch it later, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. You know, I love shows that can really make me think and really just deal a hard-hitting message that is exceptionally well written, really good, interesting characters so far, and a cool backstory, and I'm just excited to see where this show goes, because so far it's just looking amazing. Number 2, Monthly Girls Nozaki-kun. What? Why is this number 2, you may be asking? Now that is because I totally thought I was gonna hate this anime. Like, believe me, I saw it and it was like, generic harem. What does the description say? Girl confesses to guy, but doesn't properly express his feelings, so he doesn't know that. But then, you know, she keeps skirting around and trying to express her feelings, but she can't. I'm like, this is gonna be absolute crap. And I see a bunch of pretty boys on the front, so it's gonna be a harem. Blech, but it's not. It takes all those harem characters and then puts a hilarious twist on them, and it's just, I don't think I've ever laughed this hard and this continuously in any anime ever. It's just greatness. Now, you may not like this kind of anime, but the art is cute, the characters are wonderful, and it's just their interactions feel, you know, it's like you got like what people would do, but then you just amp it up a bit and make it anime silly, and I just love it. Oh, I always look forward to a new episode. So, wait on you, Monthly Girls Nozaki-kun, for really twisting my expectations, and thank you, Alex, for making me watch this, because I wasn't planning on it. And number 1, we've got Tokyo Ghoul. Another anime I thought was going to be absolute trash after I saw that it was within the horror genre. And I was like, ain't having none of that, because almost all horror anime, if not all horror anime I've experienced, period, have been, look at how gruesome and grody this is. And I'm just like, don't want no part of that. That's gross. No. Ugh. But Tokyo Ghoul isn't a horror. It's just an intricate, really cool, gruesome story with, you know, these creatures called ghouls that are living in this world, and they're superhumans that can only live off of human flesh. Now, mind you, it doesn't have to be living. They can live off dead humans. And, you know, we've got this rivalry between ghouls who are like, only eat dead people who are already dead, and then only eat live people because we're superior. Then, you know, like this back and forth. And then you've got the government that's just like, screw ghouls, they shouldn't be here. And then you've got your main character who's like thrown in the middle of this. And you're like, sweetness, because, you know, he's a great outlet to experience the world of ghouls. And the world of ghouls is really, really cool. And the art style is really, really pretty. And the one thing I have to say is, after seeing the first episode of this show, I was like, I love this anime now. And it hasn't disappointed me with every episode so far. And there's 4 episodes out right now. Oh my god, they're so great. But I'm sure you're sick of hearing me blabber on about all these different shows. So those are my 7. You know, starting at the bottom, going to the top. You choose what you like. That's what I like. And thank you for watching. If you want to see anime reviews, I got 3 of those. Please subscribe if you want to see more anime reviews or videos like this. I plan on producing more content because I just like talking about anime. Something I'm passionate about, something I want to talk about. Please go check it out. That's that. Thanks. Bye-bye.